Hi everybody, I have a very important video today. If you guys watched my vlog update yesterday, you'll know that I spent the first couple minutes of that video explaining that while I did not intend this channel to be a forum for political discussion, in fact, I swore that I would never make a political video on this channel ever. I now feel that with all that is going on in the United States, in Canada, and the terrifying political climate we live in now, that it is no longer responsible for me to remain silent. I also mentioned in the video yesterday that I have accomplished some really cool things in the last year and made a lot of strides in my own personal career. And while people have helped me a tremendous amount along the way, it has undoubtedly been a lot easier for me due to the pigment of my skin alone. Yeah, I have a whole set of privileges that I myself cannot even fully understand because I've never, I've only lived one life. I can't even begin to quantify how much easier my life has been just based on the fact that I'm white. And as you guys know, there are protests in the streets in virtually every major city across North America and also elsewhere in the world. And they're protesting police brutality as well as the unfair and unjust treatment of black people and other minorities by police officers. And this is not just the result of a couple of bad apples, a couple of police officers going rogue. It is the result of systematic oppression and racism over many decades and centuries. And I don't just mean in the United States, this is true in Canada as well. And frankly, if you don't think that there's systematic oppression and racism in police forces in Canada, just remember that the entire reason that the RCMP was founded was that in the Northwest Territories in the late 19th century, they decided they needed basically armed security to control the local First Nations population and protect the property of the white settlers. That's literally the entire reason the police force exists in the first place. Look it up. And yeah, so and I don't want to make it sound like I'm suggesting that every single person who chooses to go into policing is doing so because they're a horrible racist monster who wants to hurt people. No, I know there's good people that serve on the police forces, but I think everybody has to wake up and realize that the way these forces have been operating on a whole is disgusting. I mean, it's so gross. It's so, the news has been so hard to watch lately. There's been so many harsh, uncomfortable truths that we're having to slowly come to terms with now. And one thing that we know about our current political climate is that the world is not on the same page right now. I'm going to use America as an example, not saying that they're alone in this, but we all know the divide between the left wing and the right wing ideologies in the United States is so far apart that they just can't see eye to eye on anything. People on the right wing seem fully incapable of empathizing with the issues of more liberal voters and also vice versa. And it seems to be getting worse year after year. And I'm submitting my theory as to why this is. And I think it has a lot to do with the rise of the internet and particularly the online cookies. Now, you can tell by the fact that I just said online cookies that I'm not a tech geek by any means. But we all know this. This is ancient internet history. You all know that your internet browser collects cookies and browser data as you slowly browse, and it will use that to sort of gauge what it thinks you want to click on. So if you're like me and you're a pretty left wing kind of person, you're going to get fed a lot of articles that are written from that same point of view. I want to flash back to 2016, to the last U.S. election. I remember just telling everybody that there was no way in hell that Trump was going to get elected, and that it was a lost cause, and that Hillary Clinton was obviously going to win. It wasn't even going to be close. And like so many people around the world, was stunned by the eventual result of that election. I just could not understand this, because it really seemed to me like absolutely nobody liked this guy. All I was reading was people and saying that he's a joke of a leader, and I just never read an article that even suggested he was a nice guy. And so online, it seemed like everything I saw was so anti-Trump that I was like, oh man, he's like the worst candidate ever. He's not even gonna come close. And then I was proven wrong by that, and I didn't understand how a majority of people could like this guy. I know he didn't get the majority of votes. I know how the Electoral College works. It's a whole different topic for a video another day. But anyway, so flash forward to a few months after the election. I'm on the internet, and I sort of started getting into Joe Rogan's videos online. He makes he's just a really awesome interviewer. You guys all know the Joe Rogan Show, probably. He's immensely popular. But anyway, he holds some fairly libertarian viewpoints that I don't necessarily share. I'm not saying he's pro-Trump at all. That I don't think he is at all. But he holds different point of views than I do. And as I was watching a lot of these videos, I guess my internet browser sort of got the feeling that, oh, maybe he's opening up to these political ideologies a little more. And then suddenly I watched my internet feed change before my very eyes. I was suddenly getting all of these articles that I was just like, I don't agree with this at all. Like, what are they talking? Whoa. And like, I just couldn't understand. I was getting some pro-Trump stuff. I was getting some more right-wing stuff, and I was so confused. I was like, is there like a major shift going on in America right now that I'm not aware of? No. The major shift was going on in my browser settings, basically. Kind of scared me. Like, we all know that the internet sort of caters to us and knows what we want to see, but that's why we're so unable to empathize with the issues of the other side, I think, is because our browsers are literally putting us in a sort of vacuum-sealed land where nothing disagrees with us. And now I have a proposed solution to this in mind. I swear that the world would literally be more harmonious if everyone would do this. I don't know if it'll work 100%, but what you should try to do is, if you want to get a more balanced view of the recent news cycle, or any news cycle in the future, browse in incognito mode. That's at least what Google Chrome calls it. I don't know what other browsers may refer to it as. But for those of you who don't already know, incognito mode is a way of browsing that does not access your cookies and does not create new cookies. Meaning that you're basically getting a blank slate where the internet doesn't know what your previous sort of opinions are, doesn't know what it wants to show you, and will sort of default to showing you the most popular news stories. And I just think that's a more valid way to actually gauge the scope of what's going on in the world than just reading news stories from your own personal bubble. Now, this is not a perfect solution. I'm sure that there's other factors at play, especially when it comes to login sites. I don't know if Facebook and other social medias like that will suggest you things and gather data just based on the username you signed in with. I imagine they do. I imagine there's more factors to this, but that's just one way you can make your newsfeed a little more neutral. And also, disclaimer, I'm not suggesting you do this for internet security reasons. If you're worried about internet security, you should probably get a VPN that works very differently. I'm not sponsored by any VPN companies, by the way. It's not the best solution for internet security. If someone wants to sort of mine your data, they'll still be able to through an incognito browser. It's just a cool way for you to see the news in a bit of a new light. So try that out at home. See how it works for you. It's an annoying way to browse full time, as you'd have to re-sign in to literally everything every time you want to use it. But if you're just Googling something, maybe next time just try using incognito mode and see if you're surprised by the results you get. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll do more videos most days for the foreseeable future. Let me know in the comments if there's something you feel I've left out. Let me know if you disagree with me. I promise I won't censor comments if they disagree with my views. Thank you for watching this video. My heart goes out to all the protesters out there and the families of George Floyd, and really anyone who has been affected directly or indirectly by racist police injustices. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys again real soon.